Hello, everyone. Everyone good? Um, Sorry, I'm not very used to speak with a microphone. I hope it should be okay. Um, my name is Nixiwaka. I come from the rainforest in Amazon, Brazil. And I'm living here for 4 years now. And when I came here, I didn't know any English. I didn't know nothing, actually. And the weather was crazy for me, especially the weather. But it was okay afterwards. If I walk in the street with just clothes and my face not painted or not with my headdress, people think that I'm come from Peru, Bolivia, Mexico. But yes, I come from the Yawanawa tribe in the Amazon rainforest. I'll just put my headdress. It's much better for me. Yes. I feel more comfortable. I really feel more comfortable. I would like to say just some few words in my language, if it's okay. Mansharai. Mansharai means how are you? How is going? Nixiwakaki. Yawanawa ihuhu. Matu ui iwa. I just said that my name is Nixiwaka. I come from the Yawanawa tribe, and I'm here to visit you, to see you. I just would like to talk a little bit of nature and how nature is so important for indigenous people, especially tribal people, but also for everyone in this world. If we think really deep, I think everyone will feel something that where you came from and what this world look like now. Many things has changed all over the world. But for tribal people like me, it didn't change anything. In some countries, even in Brazil, South America, some tribes, they are different. They know the language, for example, Portuguese or any other language. Some of them, they lost the language, they lost their culture, tradition. But there is still many living in the same way that they used to. I just want to talk a little bit about my people. When we made the first contact with the white people. It was my great-grandfather. He was 11 years old. He first saw the white man, and he just ran away. The white man didn't see him. And he told our family that he saw some people, strange people, different people, with clothes, with beard, with sunglasses or glasses. And he didn't understand where these people came from. And he said, how we will talk with them if we don't know the language. So he decided to kill a deer. He went for a hunt, and he came to those white people and just threw the deer. And the white people gave him a small knife, And it was a positive contact. It was a good contact, because usually when the first contact happened with indigenous people, battles happened, lots of killing, and in most of South America it happened like that. We are glad that it didn't have any fight and nothing. Only problem was that the different kinds of disease, our shamans, for example, our people start getting ill, and they didn't understand what was this illness. And the shaman did everything to heal, but he couldn't heal. And all the shaman as well was dying. Because we, indigenous people, we had no immunity. And for disease like simple, like flu, cold, it was all new for us. But we survived, and we learned Portuguese. I was very young when I went to a city, very small town, and I learned Portuguese. That's why I'm speaking English. If you go to Brazil, Amazon, I'm quite sure you would not find an Indian person that can speak English and speak with you. And I'm really glad to be here, to be able to speak about indigenous people culture, about our tradition. We still have our knowledge with the medicine plants. Brazil, for example, is home for more than 80 different tribes that are still isolated. They even don't have any contact with indigenous people, like mine, like me. And the reason that I came to London was to learn English, first of all, and be able to speak for them, because they have decided to not make contact with the Western world. We see that when we come close to them, they run away, or they want to shoot us with the arrows and bow. And we are telling the government to protect them, to protect their territories. The first struggle that I have was to adapt here, because the weather is really cold, and it was really different for me. And then I went to school. I studied for 1 year. Last year, I found this organization called Survival International. They work with different tribal people around the world, especially in South America. And I said, yes, I have this opportunity to now I'm working with them, and I'm raising awareness for tribal people, for the protection of tribal people, especially as well in Africa, South Africa and Botswana. And it's been really great for me. It's been a really good experience. I still learning the language and the skills for my English. We still practice our culture. This is something that I would like to say, talking about we are all connected with nature. And we receive many people that from Europe, they want to visit my tribe, for example, to see how we still living. And we have this week of traditional party, and we have our sacred rituals. It's the rituals that we have our medicine plants that we use it to communicate with the spirit of the forest. We believe that in the forest there is lots of spirit. When a shaman, for example, goes to take a plant in a forest, he asks the plant, I will use you to heal someone, because if he didn't say nothing, the plant has no effect. The plant have effect when the shaman asks you that I will use you to heal my people. And right now, our forest has been disappearing because of many big projects of government, for example, mining, and logging. And it's been really hard for us to protect our forest because we think that the forest is not just important for us, for my people, but for other people in Brazil, in South America, and especially to keep this balance in the world, because I think everyone needs to have the forest protected, because it cleans the air. It's a pure air for us to breathe. I was really sad when I found out the climate change. And the climate change is, we think it's something wrong with the world. Why the climate is changing? Why this lots of disaster happening in the world? We don't understand why. And our shaman says that it's because something wrong with the world. The world is like he used to say, we say that it's a lack of love and understanding each other. Sometimes money, it's good for many things, but it can be really bad as well. And we think that the problem is like people just want something, they want more and more and more, and there is no end. And the world is like there is no more control. What people need is more love and understand each other. We think that can be a solution to see yourself and to see other people's, to see how they live and how we communicate with the nature and how we keep the nature alive. And that's why I'm here to talk with people. I'm actually giving some talk at school for children and tell them that how indigenous people live in the forest, and talk about how we hunt, how we fish, how we do our house. And they are all interested. They say they get really impressed when they see someone coming from the Amazon and talk with them how indigenous people live. And they ask lots of questions. And it's all interesting for them because here, for example, there is no indigenous people. But we indigenous people we think that we know how to keep this culture alive and how we can share with the outside world. And the international community, for example, the public, it was something that I found really interesting, was that people from here, from out of Brazil, most of them, I can say, they really care about the preservation of the nature and the preservation of different cultures, indigenous people. And the reason that I would like to stay a little bit more, I want to go back to my tribe and to live there the way I think it's best for me. But before, I would like to say to people that we're still there, we still live in the same way, and our door is always open to welcome people and see how we live. Right now, because of the public, the international community, the Brazilian government, for example, is taking action to preserve the indigenous territory, especially those ones that are still isolated from the outside. We have some campaigns for some tribe in Brazil. For example, Guarani is a name of indigenous. The biggest population of indigenous people in Brazil is the Guarani, more than 50,000, and they have a big problem because their land now is placed for sugarcane plantation and soya, and most of the community, they are living by the road. They don't have access for any support from the government, and malnutrition, even suicide happen a lot because they don't have anymore their land. And if indigenous people lose their land, it means the end of everything, especially our lives, starting with the culture. And we are saying to the government, to Brazilian government, that we want to still live in in our lands. We want to have our forests protected because forest means lives, forest means our body, forest means our everything. And we live because we have the forest. It's more kind of awareness. What I'm doing in here is saying that we are in this situation, but we have this knowledge to share with the Western world. Yeah. And if you would like to know more, what is tribal people? How they live? Who are they? It's many questions. There are many questions that people would like to know, and I would like to tell you, if you would like to know more about tribal people and how they live, the importance of the rainforest for them is to mainly visit our website, survivalinternational.com, and they work with indigenous people. For example, in my tribe, every year in October, we have this festival. It's a traditional festival, and it's for 5 days. And we offer people, we have lots of different kinds of games, and during the night, we practice our rituals, sacred rituals. We have this special drink, it's called the ayahuasca. It's a very strong drink, and it's a very strong drink. You can see what is life. It's starting like how seeing yourself, seeing your spirit, and what you're doing here in this world, and you can see through this ritual if you believe in this. So I believe that indigenous people, we have a lot to share with the outside world, and we are always open. Our door is always open to welcome everyone to visit and to know more about tribal people. I would like just sing this small song. It means if you are visiting someone, it's like you are going and you tell that there is this happiness. It means happiness. Kanaro cherente te, kanaro cherete te, ato no ma, ato no ma, mahe, no ma, mahe, no ma, mahe. This is when you're visiting someone, you're going to visit your family or your friends in the house or the place. We always sing this song to say like goodbye or this kind of expression. Thank you very much for receiving me, TEDx Hackney. Yeah? I'm really glad to be here. Thank you.